Hello and welcome to the Secret Identity Comics YouTube channel. What goes into an artist signing? Let's have a chat. Hello, so I know what you're thinking. Andy, you're not looking the best. And I know. This is the sort of thing you have to go through when you own your own business. They don't put this in the courses. They don't talk to you about this at business classes at school. Look at me, just look at the state of me. So my daughter has dressed me up or painted me up like a demon from Event Horizon, all in aid of some promotion I'm doing for the signing we're doing. We're doing a screening of the Event Horizon film. This is in August at the cinema, not far from here in Chester. And Christian Ward's going to be with us. Now, he's the writer of the new IDW miniseries, Event Horizon Dark Descent. So we're going to watch film, screening of the film in the cinema, which is awesome, and then a Q&A on stage with Christian, followed by a signing of the comic, obviously. And so to get bums on seats, I need to do some promotion, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I thought, let's talk about signings in comic shops. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know, I can get sketchy on the detail. Look at that. Yeah, on the back of a script, there is 7 notes. So let's see if we can get through them. First point, recount signings. Good start. So back in March, we did our first signing here at Secret Identity Comics, and that was with Christian Ward. Now, that came about in sort of a roundabout way. I did a lot of Instagram stuff, and I just sort of met him through that. And he came and did a signing, and it was absolutely terrifying because you just don't know if it's going to work. Are people going to turn up or not? How much stock? Do I get too much stock? Have I got too little stock? There'll be nothing worse than having a queue of people with nothing to sell to them, nothing for them to take to be signed. Conversely, there'll be nothing worse than getting to the end of the day and having boxes of the stuff left. So there's a balance. And luckily, I got it about right. I had just enough left over from the Christian Ward signing that I asked him to sign it. And then over the next few days, people bought it up. So now, as we speak, I've got a couple of issues signed of his Two-Face comic, and I think I've got an Aquaman Andromeda and a Spectrograph, I think. Brilliant. That's great stock to have in the shop. Superb. And then much more recently, last weekend, in fact, we did Mike Perkins. Mike Perkins came, which was mega. And both of these guys are just so nice. And again, great reception. Loads of people came. I got just enough, I'd say, of his graphic novels that we sold out of all of them. I've got one Swamp Thing left. That's it. And some Atom Project comics, but no books. And most of the comics were gone. Mwah! Chef's kiss. So clearly, I'm a business genius. Clearly, I'm probably the most naturally gifted comic shop owner of all time. Or I just got lucky, and it's probably that latter one. And I'm going to be doing another signing, like I said, in August, a much bigger one, a cinema screening. You know, it's a bigger do. Will I get lucky a third time? Only time will tell. And that's why I'm dressed up like this. Because only time will tell, but I've got to try and push it along a bit. So there we go. So that's point 1, tick. How do you prepare for a signing? How do you promote it? You dress up like an idiot, like this. Posters. First thing I did for both signings was posters. I made posters, which I put up in the window. And it was very simply just overblown A1, is it? I don't know, about yay big. Filled up most of the window, 2 of them side by side, of the artist's work. So for Christian Ward, I had Batman City of Madness and Spectrograph in the window. For Mike, I had a Spider-Man and Batman First Night, his graphic novel. That's the first thing you do. So people on the street can see it. Hopefully people that don't necessarily come to a comic shop will know something's coming, which is of interest. In both cases, both signings actually, I had a lady, lovely lady, who doesn't know anything about comics, but her nephew is big into it, but he's not local. So and he loves Batman. So she came and got the Batman books. So she was standing in the queue with not a foggiest what was happening. And in both cases, just by crazy coincidence, one of my regulars, a lovely guy called Scott, was in the queue before her, just before her. So he's quite gregarious, nice bloke, and he got chatting to her, and he was sort of helping her choose what she should get for her nephew in both days. Crazy. And she knew about, the point I'm making was that she was local and she saw the posters in the window, so people know, not just the regulars. But you do need to get the regulars. So of course, in both cases, made up flyers to give out people's bags. You come and buy a comic, you're getting a flyer. Whether you want it or not, you're getting a flyer, and we put them up around the shop too. And those are two of the obvious ways. Social media. Don't know if you've heard of it. I did a bit of that too. Instagram videos. I felt, especially with the Christian Ward one, that I, if anything, did too much. I got bored of my own voice by the end of it. And that's saying a lot, because I love the sound of my own voice. If you watch this channel, you probably know that. But that's a joke. You can't do too much promotion. And posts. For Mike Perkins, I felt I'd kind of learned a few lessons from the Christian one, and I'd like to think I refined it a bit. And I did daily posts, which I did on, I scheduled them so I couldn't forget, and they came out 7 days to go, 6 days to go, 5 days to go, and so on, which I hope was effective. I'm not saying people are going to go, oh, only 1 day to go, I better hurry. But just by having something every day, I would have caught many people's attention, if only on one of the 7 days. Some poor souls probably got blasted in the face with it all 7, but there you go. If they came through the door, that's okay. Let's look at the next point on my amazing list. Yep, that's it done. What's weird is meeting these people. I don't mind meeting people. I'm not super awkward. But you've been communicating with them for a while, and you're familiar with their work. You've liked their work. You've followed their work. And then all of a sudden you're meeting them at the train station. In the case of Christian, I met him at the train station, and it was weird. So I took him for lunch just to break the ice. Lovely guy. Got on like a house on fire. Keep in touch. It wasn't obviously meeting a celebrity at all. It was just meeting another comics fan who just happens to be very talented. And with Mike too. Mike was a bit different because he drove, and he was like mega early. I was in the kitchen here. My wife was with me, and she was sort of manning the till. And I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea, and I heard this voice. And I thought, oh, and I heard my wife sort of react like, oh, hello. And I thought, oh. And I thought, oh, it's weird, isn't it? I was just making a brew, just dunking my tea bags. And in my mind, for no apparent reason, he was kind of a small fella. Not small, but, normal sized. And then I walked in to the shop, and there he was. And he's a beast. He's huge. He must be 6'5". And it was just, and again, it was just a genuinely nice bloke with no airs or graces about him at all. At all. And when you've got these people here, you want to hopefully make them feel they're looked after. The boring stuff, tea, coffee, bottle of water, anything they need. And they don't. They're just happy. They just want to sit, talk to people, sign some stuff. And I like to think it's a nice day for them too. They bring prints with them for signing, but in any of the dealings I've had with professional people, I've never, it's weird. It's never felt much like a business interaction. It feels more like a celebration of what they're doing, if that makes any sense. So yes, my point I'm making is they can sell the prints, but they didn't walk away with thousands of extra pounds they didn't have before. I mean, maybe, yeah, they made a bit of cash on it, but it didn't feel that was what the day was about for them, which was great and refreshing. And credit to them both. I mean, I've actually put here as one of these 7 points, drink. I mean, that's just rubbish, isn't it? I mean, it's a bottle of water. Anyway, I've covered that. So why, I'm going to put this away now. Why do creator signings? I mean, obviously there's a sales incentive to it. It brings people into the shop. It sells additional stuff, doesn't it? I look at it actually that's very much secondary. there's something more important than that almost. And that is that it gets the word out there about your business being here. When someone who has that sort of profile is promoting an event they're doing at your venue, then it promotes your venue. It gets the word out to people who hadn't known you were here yet. And for a young business like ours, that is priceless. Nothing is more important than that. Getting new people in is extremely important. The goodwill it brings to existing customers is also invaluable and far more important than them buying an extra comic on that day. So again, please don't misunderstand me. The bump in the till is very much appreciated. And of course, that's the name of the game at the end of the day. But when I think of events like this, they could be so much more than that. They could be for the strength of the business. And as particularly as this, as pretentious as this may sound, our fandom, a place and an opportunity for people to come and do these things or meet these people. It secures their sort of investment in the hobby, if you like. They feel a bit more connected to it. And that's the name of the game, really, isn't it? Because I've got a business to run. I'm not trying to make out I'm a saint. I'm not. But by promoting this industry, hopefully that helps everybody, not just me. I mean, any comic retailer. It promotes the industry, which promotes readers, which promotes people coming into the shop. It all feeds into that, yeah. But anyway, so the point I wanted to make there, which I clumsily made, was that signings are great for sales. I mean, again, the best 2 days I've had by very comfortably. But I feel that the promotion and the legitimacy they've given to the shop is even more important. And then it's incredible, isn't it, that they give their time so freely. Because, I mean, these guys are comic professionals. They must be, I mean, how many times have they done this? And at just this little comic shop in Chester, and they want to get on a train or whatever and take a chunk of their Saturday out to come and listen to me talk crap. Well, isn't it great that they do? So there we go. There we go. I just wanted to just quickly just jump on and put this out and say these things, really, primarily because I'm currently dressed up like this. So it felt like a shame not to sort of fully document this. It'd be a great opportunity to talk about anything. So that was my basic thoughts on signings. I think I just scratched the surface, really. So if you have any thoughts, any questions, do let me know. If you've been to a signing here or anywhere, I hope you enjoyed it. And it's interesting, isn't it, when you meet people and they're just people, if that makes any sense. In your mind, they're not until you meet them. And you're like, oh, of course they are. Yeah, they've got a dog and they've got to go home and cook the dinner after this. It's crazy. It's crazy. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.